Welcome to Picky Vegan. Today we are going to do a little bit of a
comparison
video. And what we're comparing is Ocean's Halo.
Let's see here.
Yeah. So that is plant-based vegan chicken noodle bowl.
Yep.
Which is like ramen.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to compare that against, this is Sahmyook noodle, and it is vegan ramen, and it's spicy. So that's what we're going to do today on the video. So while we have water boiling in the pot for the Sahmyook noodle, we're going to start preparing the Ocean's Halo.
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and turn the camera. All right. So inside this bowl, you have your noodles. You have your vegetable packet and your chicken seasoning. So the flavor of this is chicken. The other one is a spicy chili kind of flavor. So two different flavors. First thing is you're going to take your noodles, and what I like to do is open this up, take one out, and put it in the bowl, and then break them up. It will be messy, so I break it up in the packet. And it will hurt a little bit because the noodles can be kind of sharp, so since they're dried out essentially.
So one incentive to, or one bonus I should say, for the Ocean's Halo is it comes in the container that you're going to cook it in that you can eat out of.
Yep. And it's recyclable. This and the lid. All other products are recyclable apparently. But so if you want, you can break it into fours. I'm trying to see. You can break it smaller if you want, but it's a little hard to do. Okay, and then using the lid, I'm gonna take this one out, put it here, and take our crushed up noodles and pour it here. And then do the same thing again. You can try just taking it with your hands and breaking it in the bowl, but again, it will hurt a little.
And it probably will go everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, most of it will end up in the bowl because you're breaking it this way, but It's cleaner and easier if you just use this and use the counter to your advantage. I mean, technically, you don't have to break them up if you don't want to, but we like them to be a little small. Okay, and then next, I just want to move the camera a little. There we go. We're going to add the seasoning packet first. That's the wrong one. Seasoning packet first. And then I think we're just going to add water. Something you could do is actually add chicken broth, and they do make a chicken broth. We've tried it before, it's good. If you like chicken noodle soup or just chicken broth, this is a pretty similar flavor profile. Yeah, it would be over here. We have the beef broth, but we don't have the chicken.
And we do have their no soy.
Yep. And actually, in buying their no soy, one time they actually sent us 3 small cartons of their broths, which we haven't tried yet.
So we have the no soy. We also have the teriyaki,
which we also haven't tried yet. But,
okay.
So now for the vegetable packet. So where is the let's see here. I want to see the ingredients for the vegetable packet. So in here there are carrots, there's corn, the dried corn, everything here is dried, mushrooms, red bell peppers, and green onions. We're not a fan of the mushrooms, really.
Right.
So what I like to do is with the lid or even a napkin, either will be fine, is to pour it out and then just pick out the mushrooms.
And they're big enough to where you can tell that's what it is.
Yeah, this is what they look like. They're kind of brown and tan. These are in chunks. There are some other ramens I've done this for. They're actually small, really small and thin, but it stands out between everything else. And if there's another vegetable in here I'm not a fan of, I'll just do the same thing. Or if I don't feel like doing that, just don't use the vegetable packet. That's fine too.
Right.
That's how you could also make certain soups or ramens vegan as well. As long as the actual broth doesn't have any meat or milk. Because, for example, there is chicken ramen. If you just get one that is not a meat flavor, but the vegetable packet has meat in it, if you just either pick out the meat or don't use the meat packet, then to me, I think that's fine. It's vegan. Okay, I think that's everything. There's only about 3 pieces or 4 pieces of corn. I don't really care for corn, but it's fine. I'll see it, I'll avoid it. And then we're going to add a 1.5 cups of water. There's a fill line right here, which it's not the easiest to see from the inside. But we'll just eyeball it.
And maybe we should add a little bit more, like you're suggesting. We don't want it watery, but we definitely want to have some broth.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, if it's not enough broth, you just put some water in a microwave safe cup. Yeah. And heat up that cup for about 3 minutes, and you have boiling water. All right, so we're gonna try to look at the fill line. I want to no.
Oh, you want to use the line?
Yeah, I just want to switch my hands
Right.
so I could see. There are some cups where it's transparent enough to where you see it. It's not on this one.
Not this bowl.
No, so I can't even. I'm eyeballing it. I don't think it's actually to the fill line.
No.
So we're gonna add probably about 1/2 cup. Now we added a 1.5 cups. We're gonna add another 1/2 cup or 1/2 of a cup, which will end up being 2 cups of water, which so far from other different brands we've tried is standard. And that actually looks close to the fill line.
Mm-hmm.
And then last thing you want to do, and the instructions are on here. They can be a little hard to read sometimes. It just depends on how it was printed on. And it says 3 to 4 minutes. You're going to cover and let it sit for 1 minute. So I'm going to leave it like this, so a little bit of air can escape. It's about a nail thickness or so, or a penny if you really want. Are you rereading to make sure we're doing it right?
I am.
Yeah.
Because I wondered if you covered it after it comes out the microwave.
Oh yeah, you might.
Yeah, microwave on high.
Mm-hmm.
And then cover and let it sit for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still going to put a napkin over it.
I would too.
And what's nice is, so you can't tell based on the camera, but this is essentially cardboard. And it's wet, but it's not leaking or anything.
Yeah.
And it's still recyclable after the fact. So that's kind of
That's
cool.
really nice.
Yeah.
So I will hold this and you put it in there and I will take that up. Nope. Nope. Okay. I'll get you another napkin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
Because funny is when we first tried this, I remember thinking, usually when you want to recycle something, you have to clean it out first. And thinking, I don't want to add water though. It's cardboard. It'll get wet. It'll get soggy.
Right.
And I forgot that we already did that and ate out of it. It doesn't matter. it was already wet. We're gonna do it for 4 minutes.
That ain't 4 minutes.
Nope. See, our microwave, if you just press a number and don't touch anything, it will start at 4 minutes. Or maybe it's only 3 minutes. Fine.
I do the 2 zeros. It didn't look like it was starting 4. It just went right to 3. Okay.
Yeah, I've done it for 2 before with
Oh, okay.
if I just press 3 and then walk away, it'll start automatically.
Okay.
At 3 minutes, but fine. And now for the other soup. Yep, that's good.
Okay.
This one, the instructions are on the back. However, they are in another language that we do not read, or words we can't. However, if you just look, it says 550 ml, which is milliliters, which is a little over 2 cups. And then down here, it's hard to see, I know, that says 4-5, which just means cook it for 4 to 5 minutes. And this usually just means let it cool for a little bit before serving. And no, I still can't read it, but we've tried a lot of different brands of ramen before we were vegan, and it's pretty standard instructions. At least I hope it is. We've had this a lot, and it hasn't failed me before, so I'm gonna keep doing that. I already took the liberty of crushing up the noodles. You just open it, take out the packs, and then, just break it. So for this one, we have our chili packet.
Not over the pot.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Our chili packet of seasoning, and then vegetable packet. For this one, you can also pour it onto a napkin and separate it out. For this time, I will not be doing that. I mean, I can if you want, so you can see what it looks like.
That's okay.
I did it for the other one. So I move the seasonings down so I can open this properly. You can use scissors, but it's not perforated, but it tears really easily. You just start one of the corners.
Okay.
So we're just gonna tear.
Oh, that's for real easy.
Yep. I don't use scissors unless I have to. And then you can use a spoon to stir. We have a ladle. I find it easier also to take it out of the pot and put it into cups.
Yes.
Because you can pour, it will splash a little bit, so I just like to use this instead. Time around for 5 minutes. I've never done Firmness before, but I imagine you could do that if you wanted your noodles to be a little harder or al dente.
Okay. Okay.
And then this was on high heat when we originally wanted to boil the water, but since we're actually cooking it now, I put it down to half. If you pour in your seasoning packet, I don't care what soup you use.
Oh, yes.
If you pour in your seasoning packet when it's on high heat, it will boil up and boil over. It's happened a lot of times. So you want to turn it down to half heat or medium heat before you do that. Noodles don't do anything, but your seasoning packet, for some reason, always just makes it bubble up.
And then you lose all your flavor.
Yeah.
So
And your
there's no
broth.
benefit to that.
Yeah. And I never turn it back up. You probably could. I won't. I've always cooked it on half. And I don't do much stirring. You can if you want, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. At least I haven't noticed.
Okay.
Well, no, because I've watched one person. They like to not stir the top, so the top is still crunchy, as in when it first comes out.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can see that.
So you do want to stir it so often if you want everything to be cooked evenly. But even when they were cooking it, they just took a bite of the noodle out the bag. I'm like, oh, it's so raw and hard.
Just no.
Like chips, but I mean, they can do what they want, but I'm like, no, thank you.
So now what we're going to be checking for is the firmness of the noodle,
Yes.
the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Since the Sahmyook noodle is already spicy,
It's spicy and it's chili flavor, whereas the Ocean's Halo is chicken flavor. So it's not inherently spicy. It's a completely different flavor.
okay,
Yeah, we're just essentially waiting for this.
yes.
Now, granted, the Ocean's Halo one is done.
But it still needs to sit covered for 1 minute.
Yeah.
So we might as well do that.
Yep. And we're just going to do that off camera.
Okay.
And see, you want to cover it
Oh,
because
look at that.
this is the paper towel. This is all the seasoning. It's not all of it, it's just a decent amount of
It's a
it.
decent amount.
Yep. I'm just going
I'll take it.
to... Yeah. We're going to cover it for 1 minute. Let it sit. There's a timer on the microwave. So we're just going to do 1 minute. There we go. So this is what it looks like. We haven't added anything. Usually with other ramens, I add a lot of sriracha. And I mean a lot. I'm talking probably... See, the problem is I've never measured it. I usually just eyeball it. I take the bottle and just...
Squirt it till I think it's enough.
Yeah, so maybe about 4 tablespoons of sriracha. And I add it for flavor. It's not spicy to me. But This one, you don't need to add sriracha. And
not at all.
I've tried adding sriracha, and it takes to sriracha really well to where, when you've added too much, when the soup just tastes like sriracha. You could probably add a couple drops and it would be too much. So I don't bother adding it for this one. So
and it has it's such a good flavor. It
does.
doesn't need anything added to it.
Yeah.
That's one that you definitely want to prepare and just eat.
Yeah, it's nice not having to go through sriracha as much as we were.
It's like, so our family is spicy.
Yes.
Is what we would say.
And now there's a minute left on the timer, and what I like to do, since it's pretty much done cooking, because it says 4 to 5 minutes, I just turn the burner on low or off.
Okay.
And let it cook the rest of the way.
Okay.
And it doesn't make too much of a difference. I've just always done that. It's just natural to me. And it's been a second since I've stirred. And I know it looks like there's not a lot of broth. I promise there is.
Oh, yes, it is.
When you put it in a cup, you really see it.
Now, Ocean's Halo can be bought at Whole Foods.
Yes.
It was also at our grocery store, King Supers, which is the same as Kroger if you're in the South. More than likely, it would probably be on Amazon.
It is on Amazon. And then I feel like I have seen it at Sprouts, or at least I have seen Ocean Halo's products at Sprouts.
We have seen the products. We've seen the
no soy sauce.
Yes, we've seen the soy sauces.
And we've seen their broth as well.
That's right.
We've never looked for the soup, so we don't know.
Right. But if they have those, more than likely they have the soup.
Yes. All right, so this is ready. You will want to take it off the burner, because if you just think, oh, I'm going to let it simmer on the burner for a little bit, the broth will evaporate, and they're going to have mostly noodles with a chili flavor.
And now the only place that we have found this is on Amazon.
Yeah, they don't have it in stores.
We have been to our health food stores. We've been to the Asian market.
Yeah.
We've been to...
So we have Pacific Ocean Market, which is an Asian market. But then also there's an Asian section in King Supers or Kroger.
That's right.
And they don't have it.
They don't have it.
So.
And we've even asked, and they'll just take us to those places, but they can't say they have it.
Yeah.
So, go to Amazon. You may have a waiting period.
Oh, yes.
Let me just warn you, you may have a waiting period.
Yeah.
But it's really good and it's worth it.
So back to the counter.
Okay. Hopefully that didn't shake you guys too much.
Probably did. So it takes for our stove, which is, I forget what, it's not a gas stove, it's not kinetic, but it's just a stove. But it takes 5 minutes for water to boil, and then 5 minutes for it to cook. So in 10 minutes, you have lunch, or if you really feel like it, dinner. We've done that. And go ahead and take the soup out of the microwave.
Okay,
That one is done.
Let's get that one out. Taste.
We say taste test. One of them is incredibly hot.
Oh yeah, we can have that.
Yeah, stir that.
I am.
There's a spoon over there.
I didn't want to use that little small one.
No, there's a bigger one over there.
Oh yes.
Okay. There we go. See, there is still a decent amount of broth. Now,
Oh yes.
you can add a little bit more water if you want. That will affect the flavor a little bit. It makes it a little weaker. So you never want to add too much water.
Right.
And same thing, what I usually used to do, if I don't want to wait for it to cool down, I just add about 3 cubes of ice. which adds more water as well if you found that your water has either boiled out or evaporated a little bit. And that can affect the flavor too, which is why I used to add so much sriracha as well.
Yes. Now, for the
Ocean's
Halo, and it does have broth, and I think it's enough.
Hang on. Because the way I point, you don't want to point too much because there's liquid. So there's broth. I probably could have added a bit more because you put it down. It doesn't look like much.
I think
I mean,
it's
you
enough.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, here's the side-by-side comparison.
Because when you get it, there's some in there and a spoon.
Yeah.
And you see the vegetables, so there's carrots and
Red peppers.
red bell peppers.
Green onions.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has nothing because we didn't want to deal with that.
So, now what you're looking at is the Sahmyook noodle, which is completely redder because it is chili flavored.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't add anything to this. And then you have the Ocean's Halo, which is more like a
Chicken broth.
And see, it's still okay. So it's got that yellow flavor to it. So it will taste like
yellow flavor.
Well, it's got the yellow color.
Yeah.
So it will taste like a broth. And this does taste like broth too. It's just a different taste. The flavor is totally different.
Yeah, this is a red flavor.
It really is.
I'm not gonna let you live that
It's
down.
spicy. I know you're not. They'll be going, did you hear her? She's like, I can't wait to tell Cody. But this is a lot. And see, for each one, it's literally a meal. It could be a meal. And so what we were thinking, this is lunch.
Yes.
This is not dinner. This is lunch. And still what I like is this is all one container.
Yes.
It comes in there, you just break everything up in here, put your water, you cook it, you let it stand, and then you you eat right out of it.
Yes, not a lot of cleanup, honestly.
Yes.
You have the spoon and that's it.
Right.
Whereas this one, it's not a bad thing or anything, but you have your pot and ladle, and that's probably it. And this container. But
So now, that's it. Show them on the screen. Now this is a little more challenging to get, but
so those noodles, I think, I want to say rice noodles.
I think so too, because they're very light.
They're light, they're thin, kind of straight. These are a little curlier.
Let's see.
That, or for all we know, there's different types of ramen noodles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is good. But it's a very light flavor.
Mm-hmm.
For
For me, the flavor isn't strong enough, so I add sriracha to it. Surprise, surprise. Or you can also add Cholula, which is really good.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will tell you, it is fine on its own, but if you like spicy like we do, you have to add something to it.
Yeah.
But I think it would be great for kids.
Mm-hmm.
If you have young kids and they're vegan, and you need a soup, you haven't found one, this is a good one for them. Because that right there, oh no, they can't withstand that one. That was too spicy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if it tells us if it's a rice noodle, because it's definitely a different noodle.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, it's hot, all right.
She's like, oh.
And I mean in temperature, not spice. It's not spicy to me.
Of course not. Yes. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to have to get my flashlight to read this because the print is really, really small, and it's a darker container.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that ice cubes out or something. It's still fresh out the pot.
Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, that's not helping though.
Oh, look at ingredients.
I will.
Oh, it doesn't, it doesn't say, there's no rice in it or anything, so.
It doesn't. It just says wheat flour.
So there's probably just different ramen noodles that we weren't aware of.
But it is. It's a really light noodle though, you guys. I'm serious. Because compared to that one, pull it up and let's show them.
Come over this way.
Okay. See how thin that is? And see how much thicker that one is?
Bring it down. You're not in shot.
Okay. So this is really thin compared to that noodle.
It's good. I mean, sometimes you want a thinner noodle.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot in there, though. I would almost
It
just
sure is.
eat it with chopsticks and just drink the broth.
Oh, yes.
I've done that.
Well, and you could add different plant-based meat to this because it's
could.
only chicken flavor. There's
Mhm.
there's no chicken in this.
Yeah.
And so you could actually add some plant-based chicken to this.
Mm-hmm.
Or they also do have, this is the chicken bowl. They have a beef one.
Yes.
So.
They have other soups as well.
Mm-hmm.
I forget right now, but yeah, either add other meats or you could add other vegetables. If you really didn't like the vegetables in the vegetable packet or how it was prepared, you could add your own.
So I remember on one of the videos I was talking about how we cut up peppers ahead of time. You could actually add peppers in here. You could either cook them or put them in here and let it cook. Hopefully they would cook, lightly with this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So maybe
you want to saute your peppers first and add it instead of just warm.
Mm-hmm. But so there you have it. So we compared the Ocean's Halo vegan chicken bowl noodles to Sahmyook noodle, which is a vegan ramen noodle, and it is spicy. Now, they do have a mild flavor vegan noodle. Why would we do that?
Yeah.
We're the spicy family. We're not doing that. So, like the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so that you are notified every time we upload a new video. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Have you ever tried either one of those? Because we want to hear it. Or would you be willing to try one?
What I was going to say was, which do you like?
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm serious, guys. I am so biased. I'm a Louisiana girl. I'm all about the spice. I like the Sahmyook. Now, not saying that the vegan chicken bowl isn't good because that's the one we started out with.
Yeah.
And it's good.
It is good. It's what flavor do you want?
That's right.
That's what's going to boil down to. Because they're both good. It's just, I like this flavor more. That's what I grew up eating. Is the chili flavor of ramen.
It is. And on a cold day like today, because it's only like 30 degrees here in Colorado. Now, a couple of days ago, it was 70. We still will eat ramen when it's It's that good, though, you guys. It's really that good. Mm-hmm. But especially like a day like today, it's perfect weather for either one. But we personally like the Sahmyook because it's chili flavor. It's all about the spice for us.
Yeah, because we didn't really have chicken broth that much.
We didn't.
No, that's why I said earlier, if you like chicken broth, you will probably like this one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of, it's subjective. Which flavor do you like more?
And
they're both good.
What's really good about this is we're showing you options.
Yeah, there's actually a surprising amount of options out there.
There is. And that's going to be one of the things. When you're taking this vegan journey, you need to have options. So we're going to be sharing options with you.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's not even, this one was good, this one was bad. Sometimes they're both good.
That's right. And it's just which flavor do you want to taste today?
Yeah, or which one was in your grocery store because the other one was out of stock.
That's right. Because that can happen also.
Yeah.
And if you want soup, guess what? You just want some soup or some ramen, okay? So thank you for tuning in to A Picky Vegan. We will see you next time.